Welcome back, everybody. Take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. Did you pick up any exclusives at C2E2 so you're not kicking yourself in the pants like you always do?
I got the Lance Briggs, Kyle Higgins hardcover. I got the Three Worlds, Three Moons exclusive cover. I did not get a acetate Ultimate Fallout, which I'm glad because it's a little hot topic.
Right.
Maybe we'll hit that a little later. But I did buy them, and Emerald City's in a few weeks, so I have to like really look for those because you'll yell
So
at
in a
me.
year from now, when we're
Yes,
on the
correct.
podcast
Yeah,
and one of those books is worth like $300, you say,
yeah.
"Oh, I didn't get that one at the
No,
shop."
I'm gonna get 3 at minimum, just so I could be like, no, I got them. And
All
then you'll
right.
be like, oh, can I get one? And I'm gonna say, of course, because we're friends.
Okay. All right. So what do we got this week, Alex?
Yeah, jumping right back again, Marvel stuff. It's the hottest stuff right now. We're gonna talk a little high level evolutionary. We're gonna jump to the indie books and talk a little Nottingham. We're gonna go back to Marvel Universe with Aneka. And then we're gonna round it up with Namor because there's a lot of Namor books that are, not just the Silver Age stuff, some modern stuff that are really good.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some modern stuff. Okay.
Yep.
All right, Alex, what are we kicking off with today?
Yeah, let's talk high evolutionary.
Yeah, you're starting to see these books move and groove a little bit. They are from 1966, though. So talk a little bit about High Evolutionary and the Thor.
Yeah,
Thor
so the
film.
high evolutionary, which is funny because we heard the words Wundagore in Multiverse of Madness. That's where Wanda goes, and her the Book of the Dead. That's where the place that she is in the whole movie. Wundagore, it was a town that was made by the high evolutionary, who essentially was like a Dr. Moreau. He was evolving creatures and making them better. He would take a dog and make it able to walk. The classic is I forget what her name is, but in the comics, Wanda and Petro's like nursemaid was like a woman cow. So like it's funny that they said Wonder Gore first as a nod, and now we're seeing the high evolutionary. I wonder if there's some Wanda stuff in there that that they're kind of hinting to. But a character's been around forever. They did a whole annual mini series about the high evolutionary war, and he's been around for a long time.
Got it. So Thor number 134, November of 1966. Obviously, these are very, very difficult to get in high grades.
Yes.
There are 7 9.8s, 14 9.6s, 46 9.4s, 44 9.2s, and 71 9.0s. It's about a $2,400 book at 9.0, about $2,000 in 8.5. You can find clean copies. First appearance of the High Evolutionary Origin, first appearance of the Man Beast, first appearance of Fafnir, Galactus, cameo, Stan Lee story with Jack Kirby cover and art.
Classic.
That's kind of as good as it gets, right?
Yep.
And then Thor number 35, 135, December, month later, 10 9.8s, 21 9.6s, and 40 9.4s. That's about a $450 book at 9.4, about a $250 book at 9.0. Also, high evolutionary appearance with the Stan Lee story and Jack Kirby art. Those are really the two big ones. You can probably find nice mid grades of these, get them graded, and they're hot, obviously, because of the film.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, great.
Big
What do we got
books.
next, Alex?
Yeah, we're going to jump to Mad Cave Studios, comic publisher, kind of a newer publisher with Nottingham.
Yeah, some of these books are really creeping up there, Alex.
Yep.
Miko Cyan, some of the Miko Cyan covers are very expensive now. Talk to a little bit about what Nottingham is and why you think it's moving upwards.
Yeah, again, we talked about last episode about original ideas and independent comic publishers, and once these good ideas and it's shown that people are interested in them get picked up. Invincible, Walking Dead is a perfect example. Great idea, simple story, picked up. Now it's a monster of a property. But Nottingham's kind of like a twisted Robin Hood. So if essentially the sheriff of Nottingham is investigating murders of tax collectors, and there's these terrorists called the Merry Men who are killing these tax collectors, and the worst terrorist of all is the one they call the Hood. So it's kind of like a retelling of Robin Hood, kind of almost from the point of view of the sheriff of Nottingham. But fun book, very bloody, almost if you're into like Berserk and kind of like that kind of manga, this is like a good American book for you.
Got it. So Nottingham #1, it's just listed as 2021.
Yep.
There are actually 194 9.8s and 4 9.9. So dealers are sending
Yeah,
these
that's a
in.
decent amount.
It's about $150+ book. David Hazan story, Shane Connery Volk art. And then there's the Matt Dalton variant cover, very, very hard to find book, 26 9.8s. That's about $175 book, $90 raw. Then there's the Ekterina Chesilova foil edition. There are 20 9.8s. That's about a $50 book at 9.8. Not as hot as the other ones. Then there's the foil error edition, which is missing the foil, so it just looks like a regular book. There are 6 9.8s. That's about $100 book. Then there's the variant cover, which is the non-foil that's not supposed to be foil, limited to 350. Those are 17 9.8s. That's about $100 book. Then there's the Miko Sayan Comic Kingdom of Canada Virgin Edition A, 74 9.8s, 1 9.9. That's about $100 book, limited to 500. Then there's the Comic Kingdom of Canada Negative Version Virgin Edition B, 39 9.8. That's about a $300 raw book. I'm sorry, $300 in 9.8, about $80 raw. That one's limited to 100. Then there's the Francesco Archidiacono New York Comic Con Convention Edition. There are 6 9.8s. That's about a $75 book. Here's the very, very difficult to get book, the Shane Volk Showcase Edition. There are 2 9.8s. That's about a $200 raw book. Very, very hard to find, limited to 250. Then the second print, 77 9.8s. That's about a $50 book. Then there's the Shane Volk third print with the woman in a green dress, 27 9.8s. That's about a $50 book. Then there's the fourth print, which is a sketch cover, 30 9.8s. That's about a $100 book. Then there's the Miguel Zapata CBSI Virgin Edition, 4 9.8s, limited to 250. I couldn't find any of those. I could only find them raw in a pair with the regular edition, which has 1 9.8. That's about a $50 for a pair of the two of them. And then the fifth print, there are 23 9.8s, and that's about a $50 book. So think about it. There are 5 printings on that book already, Alex.
That's a lot. I remember this was coming out in the shop, and it was every printing. You get speculators. You definitely get speculators with books like this, but everybody was more interested in the story than the speculator aspect, which says a lot about how good the story is and how well received it is. That's a tough one.
Right. Okay. Alex's pick of the week. What do you got?
I'm going to talk a little Nate Butler. Person probably never heard of before. I might have mentioned this in the past, but he was an artist in comic books, and he did a lot of stuff for the Jim Henson Company with Muppet Babies. A retailer friend of mine, Jen King, that owns Space Cadets Comic Collection in Houston, essentially got in a collection of his original art and original comics and stuff like that, and she was selling a bunch of stuff on Facebook. And I was surprised to see how much Muppet Babies work this guy did, because when you talk about like children's books and activity books, the artist's name is never on any of that stuff. You would never know. Maybe more recent stuff, but stuff from the 80s and 90s, they do not put the artist. There was a work for hire. They did the job and they left. You don't know unless you did the research. But he had a lot of stuff that he kept original, which is Muppet Baby original art from like activity books and children's books, which you actually don't see a lot of hit the stands. A lot of original comic book art, yeah, but like children's book art, that stuff was given away to friends. It was never sold. There was no secondary market. And it's just very interesting. I purchased a couple pieces from an activity book, and it's fun being able to be like, oh, that's from this activity book, and they also reuse that picture for this book. It's just fun, and I suggest people follow, if you're into original art, like other people's Instagram accounts. The world of like sharing stuff on social media versus putting stuff on eBay is very large these days. So
what's funny is that everybody knows the theme song to Muppet Babies.
Of course.
I don't even know how you know the theme song. We just all know the theme song.
It's stuck. That's the writing of the cartoons and the theme songs back then, man. It gets you stuck in your head.
That jingle, man, is in your head forever.
That's it.
All right, so it looks like we're closing with 2 Black Panther characters.
Yes.
All right, what do we got, Alex?
First one is Anika,
played by Michaela Cole. I Will Destroy You. She's great. She's great.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about Anika and Michaela Cole.
Yeah, so she is playing Nicole Cole is playing Anika, who is essentially the instructor for the Dora Milaje. So she is the one that teaches everybody how to fight in Wakanda. Case in point. So this character, I feel like, is going to be um, very tied in with the other characters we talked about last week. The secret, the Hatut Zarazi. I feel like she's going to be either one of them, or she's going to be person that like helped teach them how to fight. But I think this is going to be a new character in the Marvel Universe Black Panther world that is going to keep, and she should be around for a while.
Got it. Okay. So Anika, first appearance of Black Panther Volume 5, number 8, November of 2009. There's only 5 9.8s. I couldn't find any 9.8s, but they're about $175.96, which you can expect to pay $400 to $500, I would guess, for a 9.8. Jonathan Mayberry story, Will Conrad art with a Paul Renaud cover. Then next, Black Panther World of Wakanda, number 5. There's a Jen Bartel 1 in 20 variant cover, which has Anika on the cover, May 2017. The regular edition is not worth anything, but the variant cover is the one that everybody wants. There are 6 9.8s. They've sold at $300 plus. That's a $30 raw book. Roxane Gay and Ta-Nehisi Coates story, with an Alita Martinez art with an Afua Richardson cover. So that's kind of the book that everybody wants, in addition to the number 8 first appearance. And then Ultimates number 1, Kenneth Rocafort cover from January 2016, also features the character on the cover, 103 9.8s, and that's about a $200 book. So those are the 3 books I'd be looking at right now.
Good stuff.
All right, cool. And what are we closing out with today, Alex?
We are closing out with the winged feet man himself, Namor.
Yeah, so we've talked about Namor in the past, but mostly the Silver Age stuff. I wanted to talk about the Modern Age stuff, where you see the character on the cover, where you see it in relation to Black Panther, and the books that are picking up steam. Obviously, we know now that Namor is going to be in the movie. Do you have any thoughts and about how they're bringing him into the film, or what the character brings?
From what I gather from the trailer, it's going to be a Wakanda versus Atlanteans fight. Something's going to happen, and they're going to fight, and that's how we're going to bring Namor into this. I really hope they somebody like recognize him, and they're like, oh, it's the guy that sunk submarines in World War II. Like I want to know that he's been there for a long time. But he looks awesome. I mean, it's really easy to do a guy in swim trunks, but I'm hoping that this leads into more stuff with Namor, and I assume maybe it leads into some stuff with Fantastic Four when they start doing that stuff. But how cool is it? Everybody, I think Namor was the last big guy in the Marvel comic books and universe that people were like, oh, we haven't seen this person yet, and we got him.
Got it. So these are the books that I want to talk about that we haven't covered before. Some of these are just imprinted in my brain. I remember when they came out. The Civil War number 6, Michael Turner, 1 in 16 variant cover from December of 2006. There are 177 9.8s. There are 71 signature series 9.8s. It's hard to remember. People don't remember. It was a Mark Millar story. With Steve McNiven artwork. But obviously the Turner variant cover is the one that people want. That's about $150 plus book. Then there's the 1 in 75 variant sketch version cover of that. There's 137 blue label and 47 gold label 9.8s. That's about 150 plus. That's a great Namor cover. Then there's a Namor variant cover, Black Panther Volume 5, number 1. They printed a lot of copies of the books, but what the cover that people want is the Marko Djurjevic variant cover. April 2009. There are 68 9.8s, 6 signature series 9.8s. That's about $175 in 9.6. So it's got to be a $400 or $500+ book in 9.8. Then New Avengers number 7, the Mike Deodato cover, August of 2013. There are 19 9.8s. It's a $625 book, believe it or not, $15 to $20 raw. It's Namor versus Black Panther.
That's
which is why I think people are going for that cover, right? Yep. And it's the variant. It's a tough cover to get. Rise of the Black Panther number 2. Brian Stelfree's variant cover. Again, the regular edition is not what people want. People want the variant cover because it has Namor on it. April of 2018, 36 9.8. That's a $50 raw book.
Wow.
So I have not seen any 9.8s for sale. I would probably say it's 400 or 500 plus at this point.
Yeah.
Then there's Empire, spelled with a Y, Fallout, Fantastic Four, number
Kind of
one.
new.
Those are the Alex Ross Timeless covers.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
November of 2020, relatively new. There are people who collect the Timeless covers all together. People are going to probably want to get those signed by the actor once the film comes out.
Definitely.
There are 69.8s. That's about a $15 raw book. Then there's the sketch 1 in 100 Alex Ross Timeless cover, 9.8s, and that's an $80 to $100 raw book. So those are the Namor books that people are going for now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below, and we will see you next week. Same bad time.
Same bad channel.